We found some really good deals in there.
We spent 3 times as much money in the thrift store than we did at the estate sale.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey. So we may be crazy, but
Crazy. So crazy.
we are headed out to an estate sale, and we'll probably also stop by a thrift store that we haven't been to yet. But the crazy part is we are going out in a storm or freezing rain.
It's a winter weathery advisory right now, and it's freezing rain. We had to come out here and scrape a pretty good sheet of ice off the car.
And it's like super cold. Well, cold for Virginia.
Yeah.
So we're crossing our fingers and hoping that the roads aren't too bad and we can make it to this estate sale.
Going to be driving very slow, very carefully.
Yeah. But stick along with us and we'll show you what we get along the way.
Yeah. See you soon, guys. Okay, everybody, so we just walked into the auction company that is hosting this estate sale. Everything is inside their huge warehouse, and they've got everything laid out on tables. Unfortunately, we did notice that the prices were pretty high. Like right here, it's like a vintage comic book set. They wanted $15 for that. So a lot of their stuff was unfortunately overpriced, so there wasn't really any money to be made for reselling. But we were able to find a few good items, a lot of vintage toys and stuff, and a lot of Star Trek and Star Wars items that you'll see upcoming in just a minute.
This was the piece I thought it was, but I mean, it barely sells on eBay for this much. So.
So unfortunately, that vase was out of our price range. We're going to move on down. April's holding a vintage tin from Candy Sticks. They wanted $2 for it. If it had been $1, we may have scooped it up, but we just thought right off the bat the prices were a little high. This was a Tractor Supply die-cast piggy bank, I believe, but I mean $20 is just way too much for any reseller to make any profit on these items. So I moved over here to the fishing gear. I did spot this reel. This was a old Sears and Roebuck open face reel, model number 410. Unfortunately, I did not get it. I asked the gentleman that was running the sale, and he wanted $20 for the reel. And it only was selling for about $16 on eBay. So again, he had that overpriced.
Say anything. I guess it's a golfer.
Oh, it's a golfer. So this was a Ronald McDonald coloring calendar from 1981. It was in good condition, no marks or coloring on it, but they wanted $3 for it, as you can see here. I mean, it is vintage, but I still think it's too much money. Doesn't work?
No. Oh well. I was gonna say that was kind of cool.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Moving on to the next aisle, we've got a lot of antiques here. Some clay jugs and pots with big price tags on them. Nothing we really wanted to spend time in or pick up. As I moved down the table, I did see this under the table. These are like vintage labels from produce crates, I believe. I brought them up top, take a better look at them. Unfortunately, anything that was under the table was not for sale until the following week. So I'll have to go back if I want to figure out how much they wanted for these. Moving on, I've got some coloring books from, I believe they're from the 90s, a Hot Wheels one and two Spider-Man coloring books. Right off the bat, you'll be able to see here, they wanted $10 for this coloring book in this condition, which is just crazy to me. Uh, I was a hard pass on that one. The Hot Wheels also had that had a $10 price tag, and on the back here you could see they whoever had it before, they cut out the cars that they wanted off the back page. And this Spider-Man was a little cheaper at $5, but it was still a used coloring book, so I decided to pass. All right, so further down here in the rocking chair, we have a Jerry Garcia poster and a Grateful Dead vinyl album. No prices on these. This kind of struck me as something that the sellers put out intentionally and left prices off of them. So my gut was telling me that this was going to be more money than I wanted to put into it. I didn't pursue it. Could have been a big mistake on my part, but y'all let me know in the comments. What do you think a fair price would have been for that set? But here we have some more die-cast toys. But these were at collector prices, not at reselling prices, so we passed on all of these. Moving down, I saw this stack of older Baseball Digest magazines. It was $10 for the stack. Didn't know if it was anything valuable, didn't want to take the risk. They had some other buyer's guide to Japanese pots and vases here. Not my thing to kind of get into the reselling. These were kind of cool. These were Archie comics, but he wanted $4 a piece on those, so we decided that that was just too much money.
Look at this.
Okay. Excellent. Oh no, I didn't see a price on those.
So I looked that up, and it doesn't even sell for 20 used on Facebook or eBay. Like you're lucky to get a new one for 20. It works.
Yeah. Kind of like Boba Fett here, but he doesn't have a price.
It's one of those timeout dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just sold.
$1. Kind of, is that a tail? Yeah, it's just a piece of dirt. He's a little
It's
dirty.
just a little dusty, but it's
Okay.
All right, so we've got some vintage paper wall hanging decorations here. I was really interested in the ones towards the bottom, which were kind of had like a Revolutionary War theme. Like this one here is the lady loading the cannon. They had $3 a piece on all of these. They didn't want to do any type of bundle deal. They wanted $3 a piece. So again, they're really cool. I find especially American history fascinating. I thought they were in really good shape. A couple of pieces of old tape here and there, but at $3 a piece, it was just too much money for us to spend. Further down, we're starting to get into the collection aspect of the estate sale. Some Native American jewelry and art here, and this was, I believe, a Japanese cloth painting of Western history. But moving on here, you've got a lot of like RC track cars from the 80s and the 90s. I gotta say, the condition on all of these was not great. However, they were stored, they weren't stored in a very proper place, because there's a lot of damage to the cardboard boxes, a lot of marks on them where things were stacked on top of one another. But here we're getting into the Star Trek and the Star Wars collection. There's a puzzle here, wasn't in the best shape. Unfortunately, they had, higher prices, like $5 on each item at the minimum for the Star Trek and the Star Wars merchandise, and it just went up from there, as you'll see later on. I thought this was pretty cool, the Destroy the Death Star game. It definitely had a vintage look to it. But when I opened up the box, the board inside, the game board, had a pretty substantial warp to it. So I decided to pass on that. Alright, continuing on, there's some more Star Wars merchandise everywhere. This was a giant Pez of, I believe it was the Emperor, but I mean, $20 is just way too much for us to turn a profit on some of these items. I think because it was a collection, the prices were raised a little bit. Who knows? This sale was going on for 3 to 4 more weeks, so the prices may come down the further the sale goes, but definitely some cool stuff. Like here we have some Star Trek Deep Space Nine sealed, unopened VHS clamshells. But since it didn't have a price on it, I kind of figured they were going to price it high anyway, so I didn't even ask. Maybe it was a mistake, y'all let me know. So April came over and she showed me this metal, almost like a wicker look tray basket. We plan to try to flip that on Facebook Marketplace locally. It was $2. Moving back to the Star Trek merchandise, these were commemorative plates, and there was a whole bunch of them. I thought they were really cool, but they didn't have a price on them, so I just don't think that they were going to be in the profit range that we needed to pay in order to make any type of money on them. So, I mean, they had tons of Star Trek stuff. They had, books. There's some more commemorative plates there. It was a huge collection that they had acquired. Alright, we're coming up towards the end. We're on the last row of tables now. This is a vintage Mickey Mouse cartoon kit. Thought it was pretty cool, but $10 was more money than I wanted to pay. Moving on down, got some random antiques, home goods. Saw these, thought these were something else, but these were grinding wheels, I believe, for like granite or marble countertops. This was pretty cool. This was a vintage TV battery. Didn't know that they had batteries for TVs, but I guess back in maybe the 50s or the 60s they did. I ended up picking this up. This was a slide rule for $2. It was in very good condition with the leather case. Here I was looking at some old puzzles. Didn't know if they were complete or not. They had $4 a puzzle on it, but they were copyright in the 40s. I believe it was 1942 was a copyright on these puzzles. But no bundle deal available, $4 a puzzle, so decided to pass on those. Here we have a better look at that slide rule case that we ended up getting. And my wife found this. This was a travel valet. It's leather. It was, I believe it was $2 or $3 that we paid for that. We ended up getting that too. Pretty cool piece. It was new in box, or new old stock from the 60s, but it's like a hanging travel valet, and that was the last item that we ended up picking up before we checked out.
We just left the estate sale, and it was interesting.
A lot of prices were just way out of the ballpark.
Yeah,
like way too high.
Stuff wasn't even selling on eBay for what they wanted, so
Yeah.
It was kind of a bummer at first.
Yeah, I mean, it got better, but at the same time, it's if we picked up 4 items, 3 of them were going to be overpriced for more than likely.
But we did find some good finds. Like, I was able to scope out a few items that I don't think they really knew what they were. So, but I did. So I was able to snag those for like $1. I found 2 of those timeout dolls that look super old and really unique. They were each $1, and I think I told y'all I recently sold a timeout doll for about $25. So, and these, I think I can get more for them. So I was excited to find those for $1. Did you find anything good?
The only thing I really found was a vintage slide rule. I think it's from the 60s. It's the ruler. It came in a leather case, and it has the box and all the packaging. So
yeah, and that was just $2.
Yeah, that was $2. So
yeah, overall we spent about $22, and we did get some cool stuff, and we're gonna show you guys what we got at the end of this video. So stick around and see, you know, what we got from the estate haul.
Yeah, we're gonna hit up one, maybe two more places. We don't know what's open, so depending on the weather, they might not be open today, but we'll see.
Hopefully, our next stop is a small thrift shop in a nearby town. We haven't been to this shop before, so we're excited. Hopefully to check it out. If it's open, that'll be the thing.
Yes.
Because the weather's kind of crazy. But
and the backup plan is Goodwill.
yes, if the thrift shop is closed, we'll be in the Goodwill next. So hang around and watch us shop a little more. This is the first time that we have visited this store in Amherst, which is about 30 minutes from where we live. And it's a tiny little space, but it's chock full of goodies. So I'm just kind of checking out some of the glassware that they have at the front, looking through that quickly because it's not really my area of expertise. And I'll make my way over to the shirts because I figure maybe I might find a cool vintage t-shirt or something of that nature in the men's shirts. I am looking and just kind of picking through the shirts, and then I find this shirt. It says HT Motorsports on it, and it's a racing inspired shirt. And I thought maybe it was NASCAR, so I'm checking it out. I'm still not real sure what it is, but it's red, and it will be $1.50. So I'm just checking that over real good. Kind of make my way down a little bit further, and I come across some Orvis shirts here in a minute. Yep, here we go. Coming across the Orvis shirts, and they look like they're in really good condition. And I pull a few of them. I actually really like that one because it screams spring to me. And there's another light colored one that I pull also that's very spring-like. I sort of wish I had have picked those up now. I did not end up getting them because you'll see in a little bit. I asked the lady about the color of the day and what all that means. And red ends up being the color of the day. So red stuff is a half off. These shirts are $3 each. So I'm looking them over, and I grab a few. I'm thinking about them, thinking I might take them. That one was not an Orvis shirt, so I passed on that one. But then I found this other one, and this one is long sleeve, so I picked that up. How much are the shirts?
$3 unless they're red. So like your coat has red splotches on it,
Okay.
stripes on it.
Yeah.
That would make your coat half off.
Oh, okay.
Shirt has a red flower on it, purse has a red latch on it, anything.
Okay.
Red, which is almost everything.
Okie doke.
Is half off.
Sounds good. So the woman that was working just gave me the skinny on the items that were half off for the day. So I decided to put the lighter colored shirts back and just pick up the Orvis shirts that have red in them. I did that because I've never sold Orvis shirts before, and I actually have a ton of clothes in my death pile right now to list. So I just didn't want to pick up too many shirts and get overwhelmed with them. So I figured those two with the red in them were probably a sure bet. watching over this, I kind of wish I had have picked up the other shirts, and they were all the same size. I probably could have made a lot and lotted them all out. But, sometimes you just have to do what you feel is right for you in the moment. So here I'm looking at these Teva sandals, or Teva. I'm not sure how you say it, but I love those shoes, and I would have picked them up if they were a little cheaper. I just felt $10 was a little high for a pair of sandals, even if they were that Teva brand. I continue going through the shoe rack, just kind of scanning that quickly. However, there weren't too many shoes there of really good interest. And at this point, I'm getting a little worried that this store is just shoes and clothes. And I'm remembering the death pile I have back at home full of clothes, and I just really don't want to buy a ton of clothes. So I'm getting a little discouraged by that. But shoot, there's some good stuff to come in this store later. So I go back down this clothing aisle, and at the end here, I see a North Face jacket, and it is just $5. And so, I thought that was a pretty good deal for this full zip North Face, fitted jacket. So I picked that up, ended up getting that. And I'm just kind of making my way back through this aisle. These are the kids' shoes. And I've found that kids' shoes don't sell quite as well for me as adult shoes. So I don't really want to deal with that aisle. So I quickly go through there. And let's see, I think I'm going to head on around the corner here. I'm checking out a few jackets just to see if there's anything else worth looking at. But of course there's that constant struggle in my head where I keep thinking, oh, but you've got a death pile of clothes and you don't want any more clothes, so let's get out of this aisle. Let's see if there's anything else in this store. Oh gosh. Look through these jackets real quick, and then I come to this really cute raincoat, and it is red, so it's half off. But unfortunately, I could not find a tag in it. I couldn't find a size on it. I just couldn't find any information on it. So I ultimately ended up passing on this raincoat and just leaving it at the store. So the thrift store was open, thankfully, because we found some really good deals in there.
We spent 3 times as much money in the thrift store than we did at the estate sale.
Yeah, we spent what, $60? $60.
Right.
But we got a lot of good items to flip. Some of it you guys will see us find.
Some of it you can see right back here. I bought skis.
Yeah. So we may have to touch base with Commonwealth Picker to get some tips on how to ship those.
How to ship the skis.
But yeah, we found lots of great deals in there. And
everything that was red was half off. So we bought a lot of items that were red, and some items that were like reddish, like a pinkish color, she gave us the discount too. So that was really nice.
So it was really cool. But we're excited to share with you what we've got and what we've picked up today, and we will do that in just a few.
We'll see you at the haul.
Yep. Hey there. So we're back home, and we wanted to share with you guys a little bit about
the haul.
Yeah, what we got. We're gonna try to go over it quickly because
it's freezing raining.
It's freezing raining, we're cold, and we have no power inside our house. But we wanted to just show you guys what we got. So these are the 2 timeout dolls I got. You can kind of see them in here. But these were just $1. And they're you can't see their faces because they're hiding. They're hiding. But they're pretty cool. They're good weight. They're actually really well made, and so I think I can get more money for these than I did for my other timeout doll. I got $25 for that one, so I'm gonna ask $40 for each of these dolls, and I got them for $1 each. Then I also found this Exxon hat. And
vintage Exxon
yeah,
logo.
it's vintage. I paid $3 for it, and there's one listed on eBay right now for about $24. So I'll start there and we'll see what happens. Then I found this really cool metal bowl type of decor piece. It's only $2. And I mean, I'll probably sell that locally on Facebook Marketplace. I'll stage it and put a little bit of decor in it and make it look real pretty and sell it for at least 10.
Yeah, I think we get $10 for it.
Yeah.
So I picked up this. This is a vintage slide rule. Paid $2 for it, but it's got all the paperwork. It comes in a nice leather case, and it's a slide rule for drafters or diagram makers or anything like that. So good. I didn't really comp it yet, but it's vintage, it's complete. I'm fairly certain it's going to sell.
Yeah, we can get more than $2.
Yeah. This was the last item we picked up. This is a 25-pound dumbbell. We paid $5 for it. Usually the rule of thumb is what, $1 per pound, you said?
I think so. So we're going to try to sell that online, probably around 30. And then I did also find this vintage Tupperware. Paid $1 for it. So I haven't comped it, but I'm sure I can make some money off of it.
And then you got your...
Oh, yes. And then I also picked up this travel valet. Travel valet. I don't know why I can't say that. But it's new. It's never had its wrapping taken off of it. It's vintage. I didn't comp this either, but it was $1. And so
That's pretty much what it looked like.
Yeah,
there.
it's like one of those hanging organizer things.
But everything kind of folds up and goes in your suitcase.
Yeah, so
we'll have to look, see if we can find a date on this. This looks like 60s, 50s, 60s.
It does look 50s, 60s. So I thought that was pretty cool, and for $1, I just couldn't pass it up. So the rest of the stuff we got was from first, let's see, we paid $22 at the estate sale, and then we paid $60 at the thrift shop, and the rest of the stuff we got at the thrift shop. So, Nick.
So this is a Sony DVD CD player. Needs a little bit of dusting, but tested this. It does work. Oh, it's a 5-disc CD changer, DVD changer. But I tested it in the store. It was $10, and it comes with the remote, and there's no corrosion inside the remote, so that's good. This is comping for around sold for $67. So if we can get around that for this, that'll pay for the whole cost of goods for the
thrift store
at the thrift store.
And then I found this really intricate, really pretty handmade Afghan blanket, and this was only $2.50, and it's big. It fits in this whole bag. This is like a really super big one, so I'm pretty excited to see. You can see little rosettes and the flowers on it. We'll probably start listing that at $40, but I've got to do a little research and we'll see what happens.
So this was North Face?
Yeah, so I found this North Face. It's a zip jacket. And I thought it was a good find for $5. It's super clean and should sell.
Then we got she's got some more vintage.
So I found some clothes, the Orvis shirts,
Yeah.
for $1.50 each. I believe they're both extra large.
Yeah.
And they both look clean and in good condition. And then I found some vintage plush that I just couldn't pass up. But I've got Raggedy Ann. She was about $3. And Ernie was... that's Ernie, right? Or Bert?
No, that's
Ernie.
That's Ernie.
Ernie was $5 because he has red in him. So he was 10 and he was 50% off. So he was $5.
He's in his pajamas.
He sings and sleeps and snores. And then I found this Olympic Kids Cabbage Patch doll.
1996.
Yeah.
That was the Atlanta Olympics.
Yeah, so I got her. I have to clean her up a little bit, but. And then I found Mickey, vintage Mickey, for $3.50. I'm just a sucker for these guys. And then we found, this is my personal item, some gloves for 50 cents. I just thought they were super pretty, really pretty.
This is one of those handheld games, and it comes with comes with 30 games, and she actually gave us a 50% discount on this too. I guess she thought that was red.
Yeah.
But this is about sold on this is about $27 on eBay right now. These are Liberty Flames heads. We got 2 of these. I think we gave $1 for both of them.
Yeah, we're local to Liberty,
yeah.
and at least one of them will probably go to my son, he hopes to go to Liberty in a couple of years. So
fun find on that one, local. Paid $250 for this VTech phone. Got that half off because that was red. This is not a huge sale, but about $13 to $15 is what they're going for on eBay. And this was...
Oh yeah, so I found this record. I had never heard of it before, but I thought the cover was cool, and it was also 50% off, and so it ended up being 50 cents. But when I looked it up, it looks like it'll sell anywhere between $25 and maybe $40. I was surprised at some of the comps on it, actually. So this should be an interesting one to see what happens with it.
This is personal use. Yeah, we got it 50% off because we did not have a ice scraper this morning, so I had to use one of Ren's toys in order to clear the ice from the car before we went out.
So now it'll probably never snow or ice again.
That's fine.
Until we lose it.
At least for this year. And then I picked these up. These are from the 90s. I think this was early 90s, GoldenEye, and then Tomorrow Never Dies. This 007 magazines. Both of these were for $1. They're 50 cents a piece. So I haven't comped them. I like James Bond, and actually this is my favorite James Bond movie. If the prices are good, I might list them. If not, I might keep them.
Sounds good.
And last,
the skis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all can see these. So we bought a set of skis. They were red. They were 50% off. We gave $10 for the set. Yep. And what did you say that April comped these out? And
I comped them, and some like this are selling for about $100. They say USA K2 on them, $488. Now I couldn't find $488, but I found like $493 and a couple others, those were the ones selling.
That might
for
be like the size or the length or something
or the
like that.
Year, maybe?
I
really don't know.
We know nothing about skis, but
we picked them up for $10.
We hope they're gonna, so. Hope we can make a good amount of money on those.
And I told Nick he's in charge of shipping them if they sell. And then one piece I realized is back here, but I forgot to mention. There's this what do you call it? A Foot Locker?
It's like a Foot Locker.
Foot Locker. This is just $5. So I thought it was just a pretty cool, unique sort of piece. And it's old. Let's see. I probably won't put this on eBay, but when I end up getting my booth, I'll probably put something like this. Put this at the booth to sell.
It needs a little bit of cleanup, but
yeah.
I mean, it's a good solid. It might be like homemade.
Good solid piece.
Yeah.
I guess. But if anything, I'll use it in the shed.
We kind of like
how the
latch opened up, because that was kind of a unique way to open it up, like on the corner rather than like the whole top just kind of come up. So.
Yep. We spent about $82, I think, on all of that stuff, and there should just be a couple pieces in there that will make all that back for us, and then everything will be profit. So we were really excited about today's thrift trip.
Yeah, it was a good day.
It was a good day.
Not too bad for being out in freezing rain. So
yeah, and we made it back home. We may not have power right now, but hey, at least we were out and about while our house had no power. So we picked a pretty good time to go, I suppose. Yeah. Yep, thanks again for coming along with us on our thrifting trip. We enjoy sharing it with you. If you enjoy watching it, we'd love it if you would give the video a thumbs up.
And please hit that subscribe button.
That's right. Bye. Y'all having a good ride? Yeah? Do you like riding? Are y'all good dogs? Yes, you are. Ooh, bumpy. Hi, Stitchy. Hi, Molly. Good girl. Good girl.